Hey everybody, it's Ricardo. I am just across from Overlord for the Wii, and we are now looking at Overlord 2 for the Xbox 360. And I'm once again with Dan Robinson from Codemasters. So Dan, this is a direct sequel to the first Overlord. So what's new and what's different? I mean, we see some kind of crazy panda right now.
There's a lot more in Overlord 2 than there was in the original. As you said, it's a sequel. So the story continues from where Overlord Raising Hell left off. And again, it's all about bringing the minions back and making them a lot better and a lot deadlier than they were before, but also making the Overlord do a lot more. So he's got a lot more actions, he's got a lot more spells, and the story's expanded, so you're taking on mass armies in the form of the Glorious Empire. You can destroy buildings, you can take hold of machines and vehicles, so there's a lot more physics involved in the game, and it's just a much bigger game than the original.
Are we seeing new minion types, or is it... Are we seeing new minion types, or is it pretty much everybody that we know?
There's no new minion types, it's all the guys that you met before, but what we've done is we've created a lot more personalities with those minions, so there's a lot more named minions, there's a lot more dialogue between those minions, and they can do a lot more. They'll get dressed up in funkier costumes, they'll go off and do little expeditions on their own through the possession spell that the Overlord can cast now, so the Overlord doesn't have to take part, you can just go off in your own little band of minions and wreak havoc on the Glorious Empire.
Now, you mentioned that there's going to be some new spells to try in this game, so what can you tell us about the new spells?
Yeah, there's definitely new spells. You've got things like the minion spell, where you can pick up a minion and throw him. There's a sacrifice spell. There's a possession spell, which is really cool, where you can send the minions off on their own to do little side quests. And it's just about expanding the game and getting people into the minions a lot more and bringing out their personalities.
Very nice. And so the sacrifice spell gives you a shield of some kind?
The sacrifice spell essentially allows you to gather more life force and mana from sacrificing your own minions, but it also allows you to resurrect minions. In the previous game, if your favorite minion died, for example, he was gone forever, but now you can go to your netherworld and you can find this priest minion, and he can resurrect your favorite minion and bring him back to life by sacrificing some of the other minions that you've got.
Very cool. Now, you mentioned that the story picks up right after Raising Hell. And so where are we going to be adventuring in this game? Because this is some of it looks familiar.
Yeah, there's some familiar aspects in there. As Overlord 2 is kind of a sequel, it's a timeline shift. You'll see areas that are similar to the Roman Empire, so a lot of Italian and Tuscany kind of regions. You'll see this, which is a jungle region. You'll see an icy, snowy kind of region as well, with yetis and baby seals that are quite cute. And you can only imagine what you do to them, given that we beat sheep up in the original. So yeah, there's a lot of variety in there, a lot more rich and voluptuous kind of scenery that you've got.
And so outside of the single-player experience, what kind of multiplayer options are we going to have?
There'll be multiplayer options, there'll be a co-op option, there'll be a versus mode as well. But we see Overlord as more of a single-player experience. But obviously, for those that want to play it multiplayer, then it is in there.
And just like with the previous Overlords, can we expect some DLC being planned for?
There will be some DLC, but that's all top secret right now.
We just had to ask. Now, you've mentioned there's no new minions, but kind of an expansion of their abilities. Can you give us an example of some new things that the minions can do?
Yeah, one example would be that they have mounts now, so the minions can jump on the back of wolves and spiders, and that basically allows them to jump over rivers, climb up walls. Salamanders will allow them to kind of turn themselves into fire bombs, so they can go into little caves and little caverns under the ground, and it just expands the whole experience really with the minions.
Very cool. And so when is the game coming out? What platforms can we look for it on?
Overlord 2 will be out on PS3, 360 and PC in summer this year.
Very good. Thank you, sir. And there you go. That is your look at Overlord 2. Seems like more evil fun for everybody. Check back on the site for more soon.